here back at the trusted legal advisor, Demesman and Dover. The wonderful law office is here. And joining us once again, we've got Francisco and Simon. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have both of you and talk about the great topics we speak on. And today we're touching upon workers' compensation and the holiday season. So are there any special considerations for workplace injuries that occur during the holiday season?
So what happens traditionally with a lot of employers is that they go ahead and amplify the volume of employees that they might have, right? So traditionally you see the boost of temporary employees. And although most employees do this, and it's the responsible thing to do, some employers don't. And so what happens is that you see a lot of traditional employees that have been working there year round that end up having longer hours, they're more tired, they're overworked, etc. And so that is something that these employers can go ahead and do and take into consideration to make sure that no accidents or potential injuries happen at the workplace, which is basically, hey, if there's going to be excess amount of work, go ahead and make sure that you have the correct staffing and the amount of staffing so that no injuries happen.
Well, Simon, when it comes to the holiday season for companies specifically, what do they need to keep in mind when it comes to holiday parties and the holiday season overall with their responsibilities?
That's a wonderful question. So there's two things you need to keep in mind when you have a holiday party. One is you want to make clear that attendance at the holiday party is not mandatory. It's completely discretionary. Number two, you also want to make clear that if it's a holiday party, you aren't going to have any type of seminars or any type of networking, any type of event that's going to help the company, that's going to help in any way the productivity of the company, the efficacy of the company, anything like that. So you want to make sure that you stay away from those two things.
And Francisco, you had mentioned a little bit of these temporary workers during the holiday season to reduce workplace injuries. And so how do workers' compensation laws apply to these seasonal workers hired specifically for the holiday season?
So if you've been working for the company for 5 hours or 5 years, it does not matter. The moment that you qualify as an employee of this particular employer, you are covered under workers' compensation law. Now, what traditionally happens, or what we see during the holiday season, is temporary employees such as Amazon drivers, Walmart drivers, a lot of days now, because of the fact that we need to make sure that all of the presents get to the kids during Christmas, we see a lot of these employees pop up out of nowhere. And so what happens is that because these people believe that they have been hired under some sort of limited rule or obligation, that they don't have the access to workers' compensation. But like I stated before, if you've been hired for 5 minutes or for 50 years, the moment that you're an employee of any particular employer, you're covered by workers' compensation.
Well, should anyone have any questions about this and more, where should we go for more information?
Well, please contact us here at Demesman and Dover. Our phone number is 866-954-6673, and we will get right on it and give you more advice about any possible injury or about any questions that you would have during this holiday season.